It's all about the core today, all 360 degrees of it. The only thing that you're gonna need is your yoga mat, and I will meet you lying on your back. Did I mention there's something new every week? Consider subscribing if you enjoy this for something new every Sunday. Now onto our backs. Let's get started on that core. As you set up on the floor, bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle and place your hands on your thighs. Roll your shoulders into the floor. You'll feel a little pop of your chest, and focus on setting your core. The navel draws in, it's reaching towards the mat beneath you. The lower rib cage is pulling together. And I want you to maintain this connection of core strength through our whole sequence. Each exhale, just focus on a little more strength in your core and connecting to what this feels like. Throughout our practice, I will add as many modifications and progressions as I can to keep you challenged and to keep you safe in your body. Give me one more breath here. Exhale, navel draws down. And release the knees into the chest. Release your hands to your sides and extend your legs overhead. Start by coming back into that cinching in through the waistline and into alternating drops. Your progressions here is if this is challenging and you need a little assist, I want you to put your hands underneath your hips, which is going to help you further draw that navel down and keep a neutral pelvis. If you can bring your hands out to the sides, you can hold there. The rib cage never pops. And your progression is to either extend your hands overhead, maybe prayer or steeple interlace the fingers while actively pulling the rib cage to the floor. Or you can bring this into a little shoulder crunch, fingertips behind the head. I find the extension of the arms to be most challenging. And there should never be back pain. If there's back pain, that's the indication that you need to scale back a bit. Pointing the toes and try to get really long through the leg by squeezing through the thighs. As one leg drops, we'll take it into a pulse. Find the angle that works for your body and pulse that leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift that leg, check that form, ribs pull in, pulsing down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull those legs up, bring them into the chest, take a breath. Release the legs, the hands can come to the floor, bringing your way into slalom. I want you to lift your hips and place them from one side of the mat over to the other. Your progression is to bring those hands behind the head, taking that little shoulder crunch, and not letting your hips thump to the floor, but control. Try not to just drop. If your hands are behind your head, you're never pulling. Up and twist. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and hold at center. Bend those knees, place your head to the floor, and I want you to bring your hands to one knee. Come back into your pulses. Actively push your back into the ground and your knees into your hands into your knees. We're focusing on our lower abdominals first, our transverse abdominals, which is the first place that you want to train when we're targeting the core. They fatigue easier, we want to get them done first. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come in to switch and pulse. Find the angle that works for you. Here's where we need to check in. Is there back pain? Are you feeling an arch happening in the low back? Maybe that leg needs to pulse a little higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As the knees come into the chest, release. Full body extension, fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Full breath in. With an exhale, draw the knees in and place the feet on the floor. If you keep your heels lifted and really push through the toes, I want you to feel that sense of almost a pelvic tilt, hollowing out the abdominals. Fingertips are going to come behind the head, elbows remain wide, come into an abdominal crunch. Just trying to lift those shoulders off the floor, shortening the distance between your rib cage and your hips. Synchronize movement and breath. The exhale as you lift, the inhale as you drop. This is going to get into the rectus abdominals. That's the upper part of your abdominals. And hopefully by jumping from muscle group to muscle group, we'll get through this whole core routine and feel it in all 360 degrees, all the way around our core. Add your triple pulse on the exhale. 1, 2, 3, lifting. Inhale down. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, clearing that exhale. Draw the navel down as you breathe out. Focus on that breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1, 2, 3. Baby pulse. I want you to check in. You should be supporting the head, never pulling on the neck. Use those toes, press into the floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and shoulders stay lifted. I want you to release one hand and give me a little tap into that calf or ankle. Little crunches. Head and neck are fully supported. You should only be feeling this through that rectus, transverse, the lower abdominals, and now we're hitting side body. Crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold here, isometric, get really tight into that crunch with a 10 pulse, really small. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reset at center. Go ahead and check your form. Use that exhale, cinch in, switching sides. A little crunch across. Keep that exhale on the contraction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into your contraction. Draw that navel down on the exhale and really small pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reset at center. On the exhale, can you lift a little higher and draw down a little bit deeper? Little pulse at center. Keep it small, keep it controlled. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Full body stretch, enjoy it. Full breath in, pull the knees into the chest and roll your way up. Swinging around to one side, I want you to meet me on your forearm and elbow. Bend the knees. The knees are going to be pointing to the ceiling, and I want you to come into a little hip crunch. Just focus on drawing your shoulder and your hip towards each other on that exhale. My ab circuit video that I did originally was my second video, and it was horrible. I was using my iPhone, I had no audio equipment, so this is just an updated, refreshed version. I actually really like the sequence, but every time I do the video, I absolutely cringe. Up. Go ahead and pull those knees up. I want you to get nice and tight into that contraction and go even smaller crunches for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and reach and extend, open it up. Bend the knees, we'll stack one on top of the other. Elbow is right underneath the shoulder. Scoop and swivel your hips towards the ceiling. Breathe in, arm reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, crunch through. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. I want you to focus on your rotation. Arm sweeps underneath, and the hip reaches up and swivels as you draw under. Crunch. For 4, 3, 2, last one. I want you to come into your contraction, scoop underneath with a 10 pulse. For 10, 9, swivel that hip, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale to open and release. Swivel those legs up. We'll take it to the other side. Make sure the elbow is right underneath your shoulder. Knees point to the ceiling. Little crunches, bringing it up. It's just hip to shoulder. Remembering that premise that we started with, contracting through that center line. Pull the navel in. The ribs are still pulling together. Let's get ready for that pause. Pull up, get nice and tight into that contraction. Really small for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, squeeze and extend, just open up. Stack the knees underneath you, check that elbow, it still should be right underneath your shoulder. Scoop and swivel those hips. Full breath in, exhale, weave underneath. Inhale and exhale. Just focus on that rotation and swiveling your hips to the ceiling. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. I want you to pull underneath and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend, release, roll your way up and meet me on your hands and knees. As you set your way up into table, I want you to focus on a compression vacuum exercise. With your next exhale, I want you to pull the abdominals in. I could feel that sense of resisting gravity and creating almost what feels like a suctioning action through my core and my abdominal muscles. I want you to make the decision. Do you want to stay on your hands or would you rather be on your forearms? You can follow along just the same. Continue to look down. Your one straight line from the crown of your head through your tail. Taking one arm and extend it out in front of you. Now, if this is a challenge, I want you to hold here in and just focus on continuing to draw the navel up. If you want to go deeper, opposite leg is going to extend. Continue to look down. Your palm should be facing in, so your thumb points to the ceiling. Arm or arm and leg up. Come into little pulses, squeezing through that backside for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take this into a couple little cat-cows just to release the work. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Exhale to scoop and round. Come back to that neutral spine. I want you to reset the core. Hollow out that navel center, drawing in. Opposite arm is going to reach forward, remembering that palm is facing in. Try to get that arm as high as the ear. Option to add the leg if and when you're ready. Engage through that backside. Getting ready for that pulse, we take it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one to lift and release. Go ahead and round that back and roll into a little child's pose. You can stack the fists here. Just take a moment to let the work go. Extend those arms forward and roll through that modified plank pose. Roll those shoulders, push the ground away. With control, lower your way to the floor. Find your way onto elbows and take it into Sphinx. Watch where we're going, so this way you don't have to strain your neck. And once you see what it looks like, I want you to follow along. The heart will remain lifted. Float your legs by squeezing your backside. And I want you to take little taps with the fingers. Now, if this is easy, I want you to go a little bit more challenging by extending your arms out to the side. Continue to look down, never straining the neck. And even further, you could always reach those fingertips a little further in front of you. Lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, take flight. Oh, I'm gonna reach those arms back because I'm tired. Breathe the belly into the floor. Keep that chest lifted. 5, 4, a little higher. 3, 2, and 1. Hands are gonna come right underneath your shoulders. Press up and back, round your spine. Extend those arms forward, roll through that plank pose, and find your way to the floor. We're just gonna stretch everything out. Meet me in Sphinx. Forearms are parallel. Let that pelvis melt into the floor. Heart remains lifted, and I want you to drag your elbows towards you. You should feel a stretching and an elongation through the whole front body. Hard work is over. Interlace those fingers, and I want you to take a little walk. Bring those elbows over to that right side. And as you come to this side, I want you to actively push that left shoulder away from your ear. Peek over the shoulder and just try to find your feet with your eyes. Breathe and stretch through that left side body. And over to the other side. Walk those elbows to the left, remembering we're pushing that right ear away from the shoulder. Try to find your toes with your eyes. Navel still draws in and up, trying to lift it off the floor. Come all the way back to center. Elbows will come out from underneath you, hands right underneath your shoulders. Press up and back. Find your way up. Hopefully that core feels like it's been worked from 360 degrees. I have more toning and conditioning style videos in my toning and conditioning playlist on the channel. Hopefully I will see you there, and until next time, namaste.